Hello and welcome back to another segment of North by Northeast. I'm here in Sheridan once again today, and I'm actually at King's Saddlery, and I'm with Ryan King. And we're here to talk about the store and the history of the store and all the different things you guys have going on here, which is, like we were talking about, quite a bit. I didn't realize how large the King's Saddlery actually was, especially from the storefront.
We've expanded over
the
years.
So, Ryan, I guess let's get started. You're third generation, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So it was your grandfather that started the business.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about the history of it a little bit. How did that get started?
My grandfather grew up a working cowboy. Everywhere he went, there'd be, like a leather workshop or something like that, where they'd make saddles or repair tack and things. And he really took interest in it and learned how to tool. Some guys showed him how to make some tools out of nails and file it in there and everything like that. And he just kind of picked it up and made a little extra money on his time off when they had downtime. So, and it just kind of grew into a passion basically, or into a business. So he ended up settling here in the mid 40s, and then in middle of the 50s into the early 60s, he made the championship saddles for the RCA.
Oh wow!
Which is the Rodeo Cowboys Association, which is now the NFR.
That was probably a pretty big deal.
PRC. It was a huge deal, and it really put Sheridan on the map. That's when he decided to, in 1961, to open up a storefront. And then we finished our rope shop in '72, and that's been the official rope shop and saddle department and all that stuff from there on.
So he mainly just started in saddles, though, leather work, or did he?
He did everything. He did the rope twisting was another thing. You used to have to go to the hardware store and then stretch your own ropes and do stuff like that. So he would either twist them up or go buy rope off a coil and treat it and twist it, and became in demand for the ropes as well. So he actually made the first left-handed ropes for people to use. So
interesting. How do you make the saddles and the ropes, or what's the process for both? Let's talk a little bit about that.
The saddle process is just, you got to fit your tree to your horse, start in the ground seat, cover your swells, your horn. You just build it piece by piece, put the rigging in, your fenders, everything. So much to the process that you got to do it step by step.
And I guess when you guys do make the saddles, do you make them custom, or do you just make one and then wait for the right person to come by?
We've done both.
Yeah.
We've just put some out on the floor, in a style that's been selling, or we will custom make one for the customer as well. So, some people want just a rough out plain saddle, and some people want it adorned with whatever. So it's
kind of a process.
Yeah, and then the ropes is the same thing. It's depending on what you're making. You start out with the individual threads. We strand it down a couple times just to get the right number of threads in the rope, and then we'll have one machine that'll make 3 different strands out of all the threads, and then we have another motor that kicks on when it's wound up tight enough, that actually puts the twist in the rope. There's anything from extra soft, medium hard to hard, to triple extra soft even. So, there's a lot of different
variations out there. I didn't realize that. So kind of back to the leather making and stuff. Obviously you do saddles. Just even looking around while we're down here, I see some other leather work, clocks you were talking about, some custom stuff. What are those kind of things that you guys do?
Like I say, we do a lot of wallets, belts, checkbooks, photo albums, rifle slings, lamps, trash bins, it's shaving kits. It goes on and on. So
where does the leather usually come from?
We use Herman Oak out of St. Louis. Always have. It's a company that's been around for 100 and some odd years, and they, in my opinion, make the best carving leather and there is out there.
And like you said, there's obviously a pretty big process. How long does let's say a flask piece of leather,
The flask I can actually get through pretty quickly. I can stamp out several in a day, and the next day I'll put them all together or something. So I can maybe do 8 to a dozen flasks a day. You know, stamping them start to finish. If I'm just set stamping, if I'm doing floral stuff, it'd be maybe 1 or 2 a day. You know, depending on how intricate you get. But so with the set stamping, I'm pretty quick with that. But floral stuff, I'd take forever. So.
Yeah. And it's probably kind of an art form, I suppose.
Oh yeah,
get all that
absolutely
detail and stuff. So it looks like a lot of work. So.
Yeah. There's lots of people that try, and they do. Some of them do really well. Some of them don't.
Yeah.
So.
So we talked a little bit about the store and how it has expanded, but obviously you have the main building here. You talked about the rope building in the back. Yep. What else do you have within the store? Because it's not just ropes and saddles.
The museum, of course, is one of the main attractions. That used to be a carpet warehouse.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
And in 1990, 91, they went out of business, and we cleared it out. And my grandfather he's a collector / hoarder of things, and but he hoarded nice stuff, you know, and everything in that museum has got a story to it almost, or there's a reason it's in there.
Do you know how many saddles you got in there? Because it sure looks like a lot.
There's about 550 in there, I think. And we've got several hundred more stashed away up in the upper attic.
Up in the storage area? Wow.
Yeah, they just need to be cleaned up.
And then what other things do you got in there outside of this?
There's a horse-drawn hearse. There's a sheep wagon, a pair of John Wayne's pants,
really?
2-headed calf. There's Alan Stolman's workshop. He basically wrote all the instruction books on how to do leather.
And the museum's free?
Yes. There's a donation is recommended, but for the most part it's free. So.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, you know, obviously the museum's worth visiting, but even the store, I mean, you guys got a lot of stuff.
It's cool, that rope rack back there with all the thousands of ropes in it. It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, that's pretty cool to see. When are you guys open? And
Monday through Saturday, 8 to 5.
And then something you guys do every year is Don King Days.
Sure.
Talk a little bit about that. What is that event?
Well, we don't really put it on. It was actually just kind of named after my grandfather. It's the steer roping finals. Yeah, there's polo, there's the steer roping, there's the match bronc riding, and also the last several years they've had an international farrier competition.
And it's held every
Labor Day
weekend?
Yep.
So something definitely to check out and come up to Sheridan. And
absolutely.
You guys, I can already tell, are probably very open to anybody coming in if they have questions or maybe learning a little bit. Yeah. Any young kids out there that maybe want to try to get into this?
We don't really care if you lean over a shoulder or something like that. So
yeah.
Probably not going to tell you all the secrets or anything like that. But we don't mind people asking questions or getting curious.
It's a lot to take in, so
it is
definitely worth
and you know it's
visiting.
The kind of place that draws curiosity a little bit. There's a lot going on around here, so
yeah. Nope. Well, Ryan, thank you very much for letting us stop in today.
You bet.
Again, check it out, downtown Sheridan.